Everlasting, truly everlasting, and choose things. We talk about bad things, only ever bad things. This past year's been a nightmare. I've been losing my shit trying to fight fair. Really all I need is fresh air. Wanna get lost somewhere. My girl left never came back. I've been racking my brain trying to think back. Was I truly ever like that? The weight of the world lies on your shoulders. I think I need a change, 'cause as of late I've been living in a wasteland. Losing sleep, watch the light reflecting, the hours never ending. Life is everlasting, truly everlasting. So you just walk out that door. I never wanna leave your side, leave your side. I'll pick myself off the floor. I never wanna leave your side again.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. How we doing? Gonna go through a quick trade run through real quick. I tweeted this morning. Seems to be following pretty much exactly what I figured. Just kind of wanted to run through my thoughts real quick before we get into some of the more macro analysis today. So first things first, guys. I'm not a scalper, day trader kind of person. Honestly, I don't really look at charts too much throughout the day. I mean, I'll watch them probably in total maybe an hour or two a day. I'm a swing trader. As many people know, I trade macro sentiment. I trade using mostly the daily and the 4-hour chart. If you are familiar with our Discord, that's kind of where I talk and I speak in the language of, okay, we might see a 50% upswing or a 50% downswing per se. But I've been watching the daily chart and the weekly chart, which both look incredibly bearish. And I figured this is probably a breakdown and retest scenario. So we broke through this daily resistance level here between 40K or 42K, kind of almost touched support down here at 38, bounced back up, and we are retesting resistance or prior support. Now, what does this mean? So basically breakdowns and retests happen so that your hourly time frames can essentially refresh, so those divergences can go away so that we can continue dumping down. So what have I been looking for? I've been looking for a possible entry on this breakdown and retest. The biggest thing for me is I like to trade patterns. I just figured it was a very simple pattern here was this head and shoulders. I saw this left shoulder forming here, the head and the overreach into the retest in this area. Unfortunately, this morning, I wanted to short it really bad, but unfortunately I didn't. I had every opportunity to in this area as well. I was awake, alive, and well during that time period, but unfortunately I just wasn't confident. I didn't see the pattern, and I'm trying to trade less into the scalping zone. I didn't really know if we might, touch back up and then go down like this, maybe a spring. So I didn't take that trade. I wanted to look for the pattern. So moving on, saw the head, saw the left shoulder. I said, okay, we have two options. We can just dump straight down, or we kind of bounce and come back up and then go down. If you guys are familiar with head and shoulder patterns, basically your neckline would be this. Draw it a little straighter. Basically, your neckline is this line. And with most conventional head and shoulder patterns, into making the right shoulder from the head, you actually dip below the neckline, come back up, and then dip back down. I don't know why this is. It's just something that I've noticed, and it's in conventional chart patterns. I also really like how this 1 hour looks like a shooting star with bearish price action. So I did enter a short while I was loading up this live stream. I think my stop loss is like 41,850. I'm in at 41,600. We'll see how it goes. Keep you guys updated on that. But chat, I'm gonna call you guys chat. Powell. Oh, I'll stay for a moment. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did take the short. Yes. Second from Norway. What's up? What's up? How's it going? How's it going, yes, sir? You've been spot on the whole time. Thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What kind of music do I listen to? Man, my music choice is like, I listen to like anything but country and like EDM. Be honest. Like sometimes I like listen to like really hard like old school rap, like maybe not so much old school, but like Jeezy and like Ace Hood. Like I guess that's if I'm like lifting. Sometimes listen to like Jordan or Lucas. It's like some of the newer people. Like I know he's dead, but Juice World. I listen to a lot of Mac Miller. Eminem kind of got me into rap, so I like Eminem a lot. I listen to a lot of like rock. I really don't listen to metal, but I listen to like a lot of rock. Like I listen to Godsmack. I listen to like obviously like AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, all that. I mean, I listen to pretty much anything that's not country music because you know I know that people have their own preferences, and if you like country music, that's fine. But I find that 90% of country music songs is just some guy complaining about a girl drinking beer or like riding a tractor. And like honestly, I grew up in the country and I don't really want to hear about it because that's not like country music. It like makes the country sound like fun and enjoyable, but man, it's tough. It can be tough. Roman, give my family a reversal. 50K is still likely before nuke. I don't think so. I've heard a lot of rock in the intro. Yeah, the reason why there's rock in the intro is my friend actually makes the music for the intro. If you guys didn't know, like I can't play copywritten music or else I get demonetized. So with that said, I just reached out to my friend who makes professional music. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's pretty good music. So I said, hey, can I use some of your songs? And he's going to keep sending me new stuff, so I'll keep recycling and moving different tracks. But yeah, if you guys are looking for who he is, it's in the description below. His new name is Tilley Parker. Definitely check him out. You're a mature trader for a guy so young. Cheers, mate. Man, I bet I've been trading more and longer than a lot of the pro or older traders in the crypto space or even in the Twitter space. I've been trading for like 8 years. I've been in crypto for 4, almost 5, I think, since 2017. Yeah, like 4 or 5 years. But I've been trading stocks. I will say when I was trading stocks, it really wasn't like any TA. It was mostly fundamental analysis, but still came out a little successful. Nah, admit it, you love hearing Moon Boys crying. I mean, I really do. I just, to be fair, I don't like anyone that's so over dramatic with their trading. And the reason they're being over dramatic is for viewership. It's to gain followers. It's like a lot of these Moon Boys, what they do is they give you hopium when the price pumps a little bit. Everyone loves hopium. Everyone loves to be hopeful. And as soon as that's done, like they have a ton of followers, then they start shilling like altcoins, and they start shilling all these pump and dump schemes, and they take advantage of people, and I don't like that. The permabears, unfortunately, or fortunately, don't do that for the most part, because why would a permabear shill an altcoin if they're bearish on this market? But I don't know. I find like a lot of the very dramatic people they're just always wrong, and they're not making money. They're not taking advantage of swing trades. Now, granted, I don't really day trade or anything like this. This is the first day trade I've been in, or it will end up being a swing trade if we break below 38. It's just an entry within this zone. But basically, if we break below here, I'll enter another short right below that point. All right, enough about that. Let's get into the macro of today's lesson. So I'm going to get rid of MACD and RSI for now because I don't really think we need them, if I'm going to be honest with stocks, if we're looking at like weekly sentiment. So Dow, we have a couple options here. We talked about this on Monday. We have an inverted head and shoulders here, and we have a head and shoulders here. Basically, if we round this off and go down. So here's your bear. If we break this, we are very bearish. If we break this, very, very bullish. This will continue to run. One thing I do note is before recession, usually there's, really at the first admittance of recession, the stock market goes on a tear, and it would not surprise me if this happened. Now, what does that mean for crypto? Actually, when this happens with the only example we have from this is 2018. And when this happened in 2018, we did have a yield curve inversion. We did have like a very slight recession. Stocks made a new all-time high. Crypto dropped 80%. So I'm expecting crypto, no matter what stocks do, to just go down. I'm not expecting. It's a risky asset. I don't care if people say it's correlated. It's a very risky asset. And to be fair, I don't think it's that correlated. Bitcoin's down. Let's see. Bitcoin's down from its all-time high. Bitcoin is down 40%. Okay, the Dow, and we'll get into the S&P and NASDAQ soon, but the Dow is only down like 5%. 5%. How is that correlated? Yes, you could say that both are below their all-time highs, but the Dow is hovering in this consolidation range, which it could break out and showing slight bullishness here, whereas Bitcoin is literally showing bearishness on every single time frame. And we have historical analysis. We'll go through that soon. But the Dow is showing an inverted head and shoulders pattern here, which could potentially take us higher. And Bitcoin's showing us a bear flag with a death cross on the weekly, which has historically led to 50% price drops on literally every single death cross. So the only thing I do want to note is we do have a death cross on this on here, but these lines are flattening out and they could easily just go up. S&P, again, similar to the Dow, you have a head and shoulders, very possible, and an inverted head and shoulders. I do like these 2 weeks being low volume on the drop. That gives me more confidence that this will go up. Again, I don't think it really matters with crypto because I'm expecting crypto to continue dropping. S&P's down 8%, Bitcoin's down 40%. Most altcoins are down 60 to 70%. So I don't think there's a lot of correlation here. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. NASDAQ honestly looks like garbage. And this is where I'm starting to question which index really reflects the crypto market. And I think it's the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ's down about 20%. We've been following this double top, the breakdown of the 50, the retest of the 50, which happened at the exact same time that Bitcoin retested its 50, retested a serious area of horizontal, what was resistance turned into support and is now acting as resistance again. We have a death cross. I just think this is going to continue going lower. I think these other two indexes, now granted, the NASDAQ is the tech industry, so I think tech is going to take a beating here in the future as prices continue to rise, as inflation continues to go up. Some businesses will remain profitable, and that's why some of these other index funds will go up. I mean, you can see the Dow is up about 1%, but the NASDAQ's down 5% today. Oh, you started really early? Yeah, I started trading when I was like 15. Is your stop loss above the left shoulder of the head, the left shoulder? Hi, it's my first short trade. You should take 41,800. You stop loss. That's entirely up to you, but I just put it above the left shoulder. Where's invalidation of this head and shoulders? Basically, if we get above the head. Because if we don't get above the head and we just top out at the head, it could be a double top. If one day closes around here, it's probably only down from here, where 1 week shows 50K is not out of the table. The weekly actually looks incredibly bearish. Bart, what's up, man? If we close the 1 day shooting star, yeah, I saw that. What is your most used EMAs or the recommended ones? I use the 20, 50, 100, 200. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I hardly ever use moving averages. If I'm looking at macro outlook, I use moving averages, but intra, I don't really care for them. I like QQQ for bias. It's all the tech, none of the banks. I mean, same with the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ's getting wrecked. It really is. This is a breakdown retest. Pretty spot on with this prior support level. What's your price of entry? I'm not trading alts right now. I'm not even going to bother to look at alts because alts will continue to get shafted. All right, let's look at total charts. Just kind of looks like a bear flag. Kind of looks like Bitcoin. I mean, this reflects all of crypto, which Bitcoin is the majority. I mean, just kind of looks like a bear flag, and I am anticipating this to break down. We really need this to get below like 1.61 for this to be considered bearish. So basically, if we put in a week of lows, maybe do something like that. That would be the bearish scenario. I do notice this death cross, lots of low volume in here. I mean, ultimately, we could be looking at like a massive head and shoulders, but again, I don't see us going any higher, at least in the near term. Total 2, I mean, same thing as total 1. We actually broke back below this level, which has acted as resistance, should have acted as support, kind of retested it here. I'm anticipating this to continue going lower. Total 3, same thing. I mean, looks like just a fake out. We're going lower. Death cross has been like avoided, I think. It's like very flat, very weird. But basically a breakdown retest of the 50. If you guys don't know, total 2 is Ethereum and alts, and total 3 is just altcoins. Like I said, I'm mostly concerned with what Bitcoin's doing right now because that's going to be the telltale sign for alts. DXY, extremely bullish. It doesn't get any more bullish than this. We're breaking out of a historically resistant level, getting above it. I mean, we've been following this double bottom for months, talking about it, talking about this upward structure, talking about this golden cross, talking about this consolidation and this breakout. I mean, this is bullish fundamentally and technically. The DXY is extremely bullish. We've been following this again, really ever since I think we were here. I think I started streaming in like October. So yeah, right around October. Called out the double bottom, and man, this has just been bullish ever since. Should have bought into the dollar. You'd be up 20%. Or sorry, 10%. I think that's 10%. Yeah, 10%. Yeah, about 10%. What were your thoughts on SEV stock? We don't really look at individual stocks. Good to see you, Lord. Good to see you, Lord. Good to see you. USDT.D. Why is this important? Basically, if this is green, it means crypto will be red. If this is red, it shows that crypto will be green. Gonna look at the daily here. So one thing I notice is we've been kind of consolidating. So we have a double bottom here. Upward consolidation. I'd like to see this test this area. Again, I think it will break out at that point. This does look like a big bull flag, which ultimately Bitcoin's been in a big bear flag. So for me, I think we're going to see this break out. I think we've kind of bottomed out here. I think this will continue to go up, which again is a bearish sign for crypto. All right, let's get into Bitcoin. So first things first, going to show you guys the weekly chart just for the new people that don't understand what I'm talking about, where 50K is out of the cards moving forward from here. So every single time we've had a death cross, including COVID, we've seen a 50% drop. We actually saw in 2018 a breakdown of the 50, a retest of the 50, and then capitulation. In 2022, we're seeing a breakdown of the 50, a retest of the 50. We should see some sideways before capitulation. Similar scenario in 2014. We had a death cross. We never retested. We actually broke through the 50 and just continued going lower. So at this point, I don't think anything above this 50 weekly moving average is in the question. It looks like we're just kind of retesting the 20 weekly. Almost retested the 20 weekly here. Again, I think 50K is out of the cards. I think you've had all of the opportunities in the world to get above 50K. Unless we somehow come here, make a giant double bottom, and go up from there. Very plausible scenario, but again, with historical data, we've seen that every single time the 20 crosses over the 50, it leads to a lot of pain for the bulls. So this is something that I've been following for quite a while, and it's why I think capitulation is the next point. Usually we see about a 63% drop, and that's my 63% drop from this flag, I believe is 17K, or sorry, flag. Death cross, I believe is 17K, so the bear market bottom would be about 17K. That's dependent on how bad recession gets. Depends how bad. But all right, let's get into the daily. Going to keep today pretty quick. I know we kind of started with that 1 hour chart to begin with, but all right, so this is where I get, just going to remove all this. This is where I get the daily is not as bullish as people think. So first things first, on these two green candles, we have volume going down. For confirmation, we also have Binance showing that volume is going down on these two green candles. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about this one? This has more volume. Yes, but that implies volatility. Volatility being, let me expand this and get rid of moving averages. Volatility being that we are currently seeing a shooting star doji reversal candle. And essentially, to confirm the reversal, we have to get below this point here. So below 40,700. We get below 40,700 with a decent amount of volume here. And this thing will absolutely dump. So far, again, if we're looking at from top down to bottom, just significant price action. One thing I noted is on Coinbase, we actually had volume going down, price going down, which is bullish price action. But if we look at Binance, we actually see the opposite, where we see volume going up as price is going down, which is very bearish price action. I guess another note is there is a death cross coming, the 20 and 50 on the daily, but I'm not too concerned about that. This just looks like classic bearish price action. I mean, now granted, if you want to look from bottom to top here, again, bearish price action, we have volume going down, price going up the whole time, whereas compared in May and June or July of 2021, we actually had price going down, volume going down, which is very bullish. So if you want a lesson on price action, here's a very good one. And this is why I was buying in this area. I can show those orders if people would like to see them, but I feel like I don't need to. I've expressed enough that this was very bullish in here. But moving on, so let's talk about what we want to see for this daily close. One, I want to see this spinning top doji reversal candle close in the manner it is. I don't think MACD or RSI is bullish at all as well. Just looking at RSI, it looks like, yes, you know, you could argue that this is divergence here, but for me, it just kind of looks like relief because we've been going sideways. Breakdown, retest, going back down to give the daily enough time to really cool off so that RSI isn't overextended. This is perfectly normal in a downtrend. And again, we're still in a ginormous bear flag. I think breaking through 38 to 37K area confirms the breakdown. At this point, if we raise this up, it would be breaking out of 52K would be very bullish. I like Doom. I like Doom too. I want to see lower prices. They're literally extending this as long as they can to get retail out of the market, 100%. So with that said, I know a lot of people are looking at MACD and they're like, oh, that's bullish. Excuse me. They're like, oh, that's bullish. Not necessarily. And the reason for that being is I'd like to see this go back to red and then go back to white one more time and make more divergences with the moving averages. We're also in the bearish zone with MACD, so ultimately this could just turn back around. These moving averages will turn back around with it. I don't see a lot of strength in MACD, and to be fair, MACD is not the greatest indicator for sentiment or future changes. Again, just simplicity, breakdown, retest, continuation. That's all that is. I mean, if you guys want like an easy, or compare this, you could say breakdown, so breakdown of this level, retest, continuation. We have breakdown, retest, continuation. That's all you're seeing. Look at that. I even provided a real-world example of when this happens. And it's similar to an uptrend. You have breakout, retest of this area of support here, continuation. Same thing. Don't overcomplicate it, man. I mean, all you had to do is take a short somewhere up here, you'd be fine. But yeah, if you guys want like a realistic stop loss, you should probably throw it 42.2 right above this possible doji reversal. But again, I don't see this going any higher. We're going to start with the 1 hour for the hourly charts. Again, if you're late to the live stream, I had made a tweet earlier that this is forming a head and shoulders. So we should see this, the neckline being right about 41.5. So we get below 41.5, or sorry, excuse me, 41.257. So you get below 41.2, 41.1 area, it's going to get ugly. And just so everyone knows, this is perfectly normal in a head and shoulders pattern. Similar with an inverted head and shoulders, I would very much expect that. But how much time? So we have 1 more minute, unfortunately, with the 1 hour. But one thing I do note is we have volume going down, price going up. That's very bearish price action. Same with Binance, low volume, higher price. That essentially makes the pattern, or helps formulate the pattern. No, the right shoulder shouldn't exceed the left shoulder. So essentially, your right shoulder should not go any higher than 41.787. So if you're going to short this, I mean, you can enter a short now, put your stop, maybe like 41.850-ish. You want it slightly above. You don't want it right at the resistance. But I'm kind of expecting this next candle to be red, especially going into the daily close. 1 week Bollingers are squeezing like crazy, yeah, and there's many different short signs on the week. I mean, there's historically accurate signs on the weekly that say, guys, stop buying. And all these moon boys, what they do is they take a weekly chart or a monthly chart, and they go, oh, this is very bullish, so bullish. Look, it's an ascending channel. Ascending channels aren't bullish. They're actually bearish. And then they go like this. They go, guys, we're bullish. Without any other indications. Oh, no, sorry. Their charts look like this. Turn off volume. And this is literally the easiest bait. If I tweeted this, I bet I'd grow 20,000 followers in a week. But I don't, because I'm not a piece of shit. So. All right, let's look at the 12-hour. Look at the 12-hour, 4-hour, look at Ethereum, then call it a day. Actually, we'll look at Bitcoin dominance, too. Excuse me. I've got to make food. Freaking hungry. So here, yeah, 12-hour. I mean, this is a pretty good, perfect example of bearish price action. You have volume going down, retesting this area of resistance, and continuing to go lower. I mean, I'm expecting to go down 100%. This looks very weak to me. Again, RSI just kind of looks like it went back to the mean. Nothing here screams bullishness. And I know that there are a lot of people saying, we're just going to teleport all the way to 50K. That's not how this works. You need momentum in order to build a bullish move. And there's no momentum behind this. This is all just relief rally. This allows sellers to remain in control and enter more shorts. That's all that is. 100-time long everything. It's a death sentence. Why use Coinbase chart if Binance has the most volume? I use Coinbase because I feel like it. I've always used Coinbase. I use both. But unfortunately, I've already drawn everything on this chart, so this is the one I use. I just compare the volume to Binance. I mean, I know where all the supports and resistances are, and usually Binance and Coinbase are pretty similar. Pretty much the same. All right, 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, you guys can see it pretty clear here. We've got some MACD starting to wane, looking like a head and shoulders here in the 4-hour as well. Not much difference in the 1 hour. This, if we did continue higher, this would make divergence. So I don't expect this to be broken. Not anytime soon. And again, from bottom to now top, we have volume going down, price going up. That is known as a dead cat bounce. That's all this is a dead cat bounce to retest in order to reset our RSI indicator in order to reset our MACD indicator and send it lower. It's essentially all that's for. The more you know. A lot of liquidation down to 27K. People don't pay themselves. What are you talking about? Oh, they didn't take profits. I mean, that's their own fault. Would you leave the short all tonight? I mean, this is a swing trade start in my for me. I mean, I was actually short up here. Took profits here. So I took like 80% profit there. Took a little bit here. Got stopped out completely here. Entered a new short here. So I'm looking to... I wish I would have just held this original position, but wasn't confident. And honestly, I find that shorting this market does not make nearly as much money as longing. So for all the people that call me a perma bear, I'd love to see an upward move. I'd make 5 times the amount of money I'm making right now. It'd be very nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. Let's go to the daily. What are we seeing? So, seeing a retest of support. We've kind of held the support area. I'm expecting this to continue higher. I really am. Not the best setup, as the double bottom looks like it's kind of failed our diagonal line here. But for the most part, I'm not too concerned. We're holding a daily support level, possibly making maybe an inverted head and shoulders here. But for the most part, I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of bearishness here. We held support. We're continuing to go higher. If we break this high here at 42%, we're looking pretty good. And honestly, Bitcoin looks like it's about to dump. So I think Bitcoin dominance will continue to go higher. Ethereum. Ethereum looks like... Let's go to the weekly. Ethereum looks like it's lagging behind Bitcoin quite a bit. We do have a death cross, so we have a death cross with a retest. I'm assuming that this continues to go lower. I also noticed this, which is a head and shoulders. Ultimately, you're in an ascending wedge here. Breaking below 2,500 would be deadly for Ethereum. Ethereum, I'm guessing, goes down to 800, maybe 500, possibly lower. If we just kind of zoom out here. Maybe expand this a bit. Take out the log. Actually, we'll leave log. I mean, you have 1,300. You have 421. And you have... there's really not a whole lot between that. Maybe 780. So about 800. My bottom guess is here. 800 for Ethereum. I mean, that would be about a 90% drop. Think about it. Yo, what up, O? Yeah, sorry I couldn't do the Twitter space last night. I'm cooking food tonight. If maybe we can do it tonight. Maybe. I've just been busy, man. Just been busy. The XY monthly shows a horizontal range. A breakout of the channel could be a disaster for Bitcoin. I already showed the breakout on the daily, which I know the monthly is more important, but we're already breaking out slowly. Let's look at intraday Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, it's just like Bitcoin. We had these supply and demand zones drawn. It looks like we have a breakdown. We are in supply. Let me remove these. In supply. We'll actually delete some of these, just to clean it. Looks like we're in supply, retested, or sorry, we're in demand, retested supply, and should continue going lower. Again, ultimately with Ethereum, you have lower volume, trying to make higher highs in this little range. Again, not bullish, not really bullish at all. I'd argue that that is a dead cat bounce again in the current range, and I believe we're going to continue going lower. Essentially, Ethereum needs to break 2,500. This is the important level. We break 2,500, and Ethereum will crash quite exponentially. We need to break probably 38 to 4K in order for it to be considered very, very bullish in the medium term. But again, my bets are here. My bets are on 2,500 breaking. I can't imagine that we see a Bitcoin bull run in the middle of a recession. That just doesn't make any sense. Daily 20 SMA is about to cross the 50 SMA. Should we see a pullback on Bitcoin? I think we just had our pullback. I mean, we just had a like an 8% pullback. And I know with death crosses, usually leading up to the cross or when the cross happens, there's a pullback, or the inverse effect happens. Same with golden crosses. So if you guys didn't know this, on death crosses or golden crosses, excluding some of this range, excluding some of this range, because this is all just range, you actually see an inverted effect. So we're seeing a possible death cross. We had our pullback. And, yeah, I mean, same thing happens with golden crosses. Look, you have a death cross here. We immediately have a pullback. We have a golden cross here. Golden cross here, immediately pull downwards or pull back. So death cross here, pull back. Death cross, no, this is a golden cross actually. But again, this is a big range. It's not always accurate, but it's a good representation. I mean, we have that like this. 4-hour Ethereum wanted to liquidate everyone. Let's take a look. Oh wow. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, we dipped below, probably liquidated everybody. I would argue that, man, that just looks so clean to maybe come back down and do something like that. Like an inverted head and shoulders. Let's keep an eye on Ethereum over the next couple days. Like I said, I don't think Bitcoin is very bullish, but Bitcoin might have one too. So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on the 39.3 level. If we hold that, you're looking at an inverted head and shoulders, and we will continue in this range. Keep an eye on this. This is my bullish take for the day. Keep an eye right here, 39.3. We're going to put an alert there. Oops. Can't see. We're going to keep an eye on that 39.5 area for a possible inverted head and shoulders. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's very possible. Keep an eye on it. We literally have to hold it. We have to hold 39.500. So I'm actually going to put it at 39.6. Actually 39.7, so I have a little bit to see what the price action looks like. So yeah, keep an eye on this. Very, very possible seeing that 4-hour. Aren't you guys glad you have me? I just gave you 2 scenarios. Now pick one. No, I'm kidding. So what would I want to see if that does play out? And this will be my last point of today's stream. I want to see price go down, and I'd want to see volume also go down. So I'd want to see volume do that as price goes down. If I see that, we're buying a lot. We're buying a lot. So keep an eye on that, please. This is a market. It's going to do what it does, and sometimes it doesn't matter what our indicators say. But if we have something like this on price action with the pattern, I would argue that we could see a nice little 20% raise or rise. Keep an eye on it. I think your name is Pavel? No, sorry. Powell? Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Been doing this for a long time, man. I've been doing it for quite a while. So I'm pretty good at spotting patterns and possibilities. So that's what I'd like to see. Guys, just before I end today's stream, there's a trading competition coming up. I believe there is were the bots not chatting? Let's see. Oh, I guess the bots didn't work on Streamlabs. Okay, well, there's details in Discord. There's also details on signups in Discord. If you guys are interested in learning how to trade, learning how I trade, there's full details in Discord. It's through Patreon. I'm leaving those videos up. until the end of May. Once we hit the end of May, I'm going to take it all down, restructure the class, and probably reopen the class in the fall. I'm pretty busy in the summer, so probably will reopen that in the fall. With all that said, guys, we have a free Discord. Join it. Unfortunately, the link is not in the chat, and it's in the description below this live stream. So check it out. Like I said, it's free. Lots of people, lots of opinions every day. Just don't be an asshole, and we won't have any problems. With all that said, guys, please be patient. Use risk management.